Let's start with an African proverb. When two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. It's a simple yet profound metaphor. When the biggest players in the market, institutions and professional traders engage in their tug of war, it's often the retail traders who end up being trampled if they're caught in the middle. In trading, sometimes this is what happens during accumulation or distribution phases. As retail traders, our focus shouldn't be on diving into the chaos prematurely. Instead, we wait for confirmation, a clear sign of strength or sign of weakness before taking a position. Otherwise, we risk becoming collateral damage in a war we can't win. This brings us to an important point. Even the so-called smart money doesn't always get it right. Take these examples of institutional trading losses. 1995, Barings Bank lost $1.3 billion due to rogue trader Nick Leeson. 2008, Lehman Brothers collapsed with $600 billion in assets amid the financial crisis. 2012, JP Morgan Chase, the London whale trading scandal cost $6.2 billion. And in 2021, RK Gold's Capital Management lost over $20 billion, causing a ripple effect across major banks. These aren't minor errors, these are monumental mistakes that have even inspired movies like Margin Call. They're extreme examples, but they highlight one crucial point: the big players aren't infallible. So, who are they losing to? Not retail traders, at least not in most cases. Historically, long before retail traders even had access to markets, institutions were trading among themselves. Some won and others lost. This is beautifully captured in the 1985 BBC documentary Billion Dollar Day, which shows how banks competed in the currency markets with winners and losers on both sides. So, what does this have to do with two-way absorption? In markets, two-way absorption occurs when both sides, buyers and sellers, battle within a range, neither gaining a decisive edge. For us as traders, the lesson is simple. Don't pick a side until one of the elephants has clearly won. Here's where the tools come in. To spot two-way absorption, we turn to Renko charts, volume and volume profile analysis. Renko charts filter out market noise, making it easier to spot ranges. Instead of traditional time-based candles, Renko focuses purely on price movement, giving a cleaner view of sideways action. Now, within a Renko identified range, the key is to analyze the volume profile of each candle. If the point of control appears near both the high and low of the range, it signals that both buying and selling participants are actively absorbing each other's positions. This high volume tug of war is a textbook sign of two-way absorption. Our entry cue comes when the range breaks, accompanied by a clear sign of strength or sign of weakness. There are a few key takeaways here. The first being, even institutions don't have a holy grail. Losses happen at every level, reinforcing the importance of good risk management. Secondly, context is everything. Absorption signals alone aren't enough to take a trade. We need confirmation of the trend direction to reduce our risk. Finally, let's redefine what smart money really means. It's not the side causing the range, it's the side that triggers the trend. And while institutions dominate this role, there are rare moments when retail traders step into the spotlight, like in the GameStop situation led by Roaring Kitty. This reminds us why we wait for clarity and align ourselves with the side that drives the market forward. And that brings us to our next key metric, liquidity drivers, where we'll look into who's really fueling the market moves.